Welcome, everyone, to another edition of the Health Forum. With me today is Dr. Young-Soo Kim, who is CEO of Eastwood Biomedical. Welcome, Dr. Kim. How are you today?
Hi, everybody.
You having a good day?
Today I want to start my story in a solemn way, serious way.
Well,
How
wait a
about
minute. First about the story. What are we talking about over here? You got to tell me what we're talking about, the circadian rhythm. Tell us
I
a little
want to
bit
start
about
that very story in a solemn, serious way.
that. Come on, you got to talk. Yeah, all right, the circadian rhythm. Just tell me, what is
Just
circadian rhythm?
listen, Carl, listen. There are 4 cycles in life. 4 cycles.
Okay, let's talk about the four cycles. That's what we're
Yeah,
here to talk about here
yeah.
today. Come on,
It's
let's
like
have
this.
some fun here.
Yeah, it's like this. Our body is like a complex clock, complex watch with many hands. So,
Okay.
complex clocks has minutes and second hands, hour hands like that. But the expensive clock used to have weekly hands, calendar hands, very complex, right? Our body seems to have four important clocks. Four important clocks. The first one is the day cycle. The day,
The
yeah. So that's called circadian cycle.
circadian cycle.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then there is a monthly cycle. Women have a period. Actually, men have also something similar. Also, in everybody's life, there is a reproduction.
Dr. Kim,
Yeah,
in men,
yeah, yeah.
when they have that, what exactly would you say they experience?
Or in a mild way, they experience something similar to what women experienced during the period. In a mild way, it's just a matter of severity only.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there is a reproduction cycle. Reproduction cycle means making, bearing, raising, educate others. So that is called
So that would be the
reproduction.
third cycle, the reproduction cycle.
Yeah. And then there's a young and aging cycle. Human body is, when we are young, we work, hunt, gather food, and feed others. When we
Feeding
become
and
old,
gathering, yes.
we rely on other people, right? So I don't think today we have time to discuss all four. Let's talk about just one or two, if time allows.
Sure.
The Yeah. So as I mentioned, our human body is like a very complex clock with four inner clocks within the big clocks, with many cogs, many teeth, and many cog wheels. All gears are connected with each other in such a complex, intricate, harmonious way.
Hmm.
If everything goes accurately, if every wheels are in sync, then we live happily, harmonious, healthy life.
Yes. Yes.
The reverse is true too, meaning that if this is not in sync, the this gear confuses the other, contorts the other, strange sounds, and then the whole confusions and mood issues, unhappiness, low performance, and everything starts from there.
So it almost sounds like the spirit of balance is out of balance.
Exactly. Yeah. So these four clocks, what's beautiful is, if you fix one clock back to in perfect sync, the other
Uh-huh.
three gets in synchronization too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, what I'm explaining today is the easiest, the most important clock, the day clock, the circadian cycle.
The
If we
circadian cycle.
if we fix this, and then monthly cycle, also this reproduction cycle, young and old cycle seem to go back to sync too. I will call this 7-day challenge. It takes only 7 days.
So you're going to challenge everyone out there that's watching this to a 7-day challenge.
Yeah, 7-day challenge.
Okay.
So, there is a reason. There is a reason for all those ancient religions emphasize this 7-day challenge. So they emphasize the Sabbath, they emphasize the Sunday, Seventh Adventist, they emphasize the Sabbath too. So there's a kind of a weekly regularity, weekly cyclicity. Almost all religions emphasize that. I think they knew something. They knew something using this 7-day cycle to fix daily cycle, to fix monthly cycle, so to fix the whole life cycle. I think that's some secrets they already knew at that time. Let me just elaborate on this circadian cycle, the day cycle.
Yep.
It's like this. The healthy cycle is sun rises, you wake up. You eat, you be active, and then sun sets, you sleep. So sleep, activity, digestion, sleep. This is a regular cycle. And then what governs this day cycle are two hormones. Two hormones regulate. Two hormones, which is serotonin and melatonin. Those two hormones. The timing of secretion of serotonin and melatonin, timing and the quantity of secretion of these hormones regulates this day cycle.
Okay.
Yeah. So even though we are talking about two hormones, the healthy cycle of secretion and then diminishing of this hormone affect all other 50 hormones. But if we focus and then put back these two hormones back to healthy situation, healthy cycle, all other hormones go back to normalcy too. That's the beauty of this thing.
And how do we do that?
Yeah, that's what I want to discuss today. So if you do this 7 days, we did this to a few hundred people in Korea. We never failed in curing insomnia and then a mood problem, great help in depression, blood sugar level, blood pressure level, recovery of memory, autism. Beautiful. So this 7-day challenge, intensive challenge, even though they have this cyclical issue, they don't know. People don't know they are suffering from insomnia. They think, I slept well, but actually they didn't. So
do you think the insomnia contributes to a tremendous amount of the ailments that people are experiencing today?
Yeah, even there are insomnia people are conscious of, but there are also insomnia people are not conscious of. They have insomnia, but they don't know. But both contributes directly to Alzheimer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lack of sleep, lack of oxygen to the brain.
Yeah, for many other reasons. And one checkpoint is if you are easily annoyed, easily irritated, crankiness, irascible, that's usually the sign of insomnia.
Really, irritability.
That's usually the sign of insomnia. So those people who gets these days I get irritated very easily. These days I'm annoyed easily. Usually the reason is insomnia rather than stress. Anyhow, let me continue this.
Yes.
So the serotonin and melatonin are two major hormones, right? Yes. Serotonin is dubbed as feel good hormone or wake up hormone. So serotonin during the daytime, serotonin makes you active, make you feel nice. And then melatonin is called hormone of darkness. So when sun sets, this the brain responds to the
puts you
darkness
to sleep.
by secreting melatonin. So and then the curative process starts. So this thing goes one in one, and then if this is
like the seesaw.
Exactly, then everything is fine. But these days, people, with no exception, people don't get brightness enough. People don't get darkness enough. They don't get those two things insufficiently. For at night, even the sunsets, we watch TV, we use computer, we watch cellular phone. So we are deprived of darkness. And even during the daytime, we usually stay indoors. So these two hormones are totally confused. So the most modern people are suffering from the confusion of this circadian cycle. So we should put back those cycles back to synchronization, natural synchronization, which is there are 4 ways. That's what I want to discuss.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I have the luck of finding these 4 ways. This is Vancouver, British Columbia in Canada here. The Vancouver, British Columbia in Canada is the mecca of the how to treat this circadian cycle. The world-class experts are all here. They are very famous for their holistic approach to cure the problems of insomnia by turning back the clocks back to normal. And also I have another luck, which is, the Canadian Native Indians, there's a certain tribe called the Crees, the Cree, C-R-E-E.
Yep,
That tribe is famous for their treatment of insomnia.
Really?
I got their knowledge too. So the another luck I recently had was during the last 3 years, there has been a tremendous discovery in neurobrain science, that area. Okay. Tremendous discovery, which is called neuroplasticity. That's a new concept, and then that revolutionized all our thinking about this, how brain works, how our neuron works.
Now, neuroplasticity, explain that.
Yeah. It's like this. I'll explain it now instead of explaining.
So we know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Simple. Let me put it simple.
Yes, make it simple. 10 seconds.
Yeah. Our brain neuron cells, they regenerate themselves easily. We should let the neuron regenerate itself, even though they are damaged. How? By giving them small satisfaction. So let me give you the opposite example. Okay. So what's bad is make a big resolution, like a New Year's resolution. Oh, I will do 2 marathons a day, like this type of big resolution. You don't accomplish, you get frustrated, you get stressed. That's the opposite of neuroplasticity. Small satisfaction. Instead of making yourself committed to doing big workout, 500 steps before breakfast. And then I'm trying to put into practice all the recommendations of this neuroplasticity. For example, and I have this kind of toys, the gripping toys. All
yes.
Instead of I just force myself to do 10 cheetah. No, I just do this kind of thing. Oh yeah. Oh, and then At the end of the day, I feel so nice. I accomplished 50 goals to small goals today.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so it's
But
the other.
it's the little things that make the difference, Dr. Kim.
That's if you put it into nice academic terms, that's called neuroplasticity. That regenerates damaged neurons.
Okay.
It cures insomnia, Alzheimer, depression, everything. So the people are surprised. So when the brain cells, the neuron cells in the brain are recovered, miracles happen. That's neuroplasticity. Anyhow, let me continue. What are the 7-day challenges?
Okay.
Don't try to memorize. We are going to summarize this thing in below in the information section. So we are
All
going
right.
to. So don't try to
Good. Gonna
memorize
post
it.
it. Okay, good, good, good. Just listen to it. Listen to it
Yeah.
auditorily.
This
We'll put it up on
is
the screen.
these are
Fair
all
enough.
interesting stories. Yeah. There is something called a circadian diet. Common sense. Circadian diet is you eat during the daylight hours. You don't
Okay.
eat when the sun goes down. So that's
Circadian
circadian
diet.
diet.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the ideally aim to make breakfast and lunch your larger meals while you eat small meals at dinner. That's
Okay.
as simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the
Makes so much it makes logical sense, Dr. Kim.
yeah, but the
It really
that's
does.
what this so-called world expert says in Vancouver, Dr. Tong, and then that is the pillar of this circadian diet, but also the when the sun goes down, we recommend people to take our product called Calimera. Do you remember that the concentrated celery, that product Calimera?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And then there's another big medical word comes out. If you take Calimera when sun goes down, it stimulates peristalsis. Peristalsis. Peristalsis is the word that describes the rhythmic muscle contractions that move food through the digestive tracts. Yeah. And then the food moves and then it just goes through the digestive tract. That's called peristalsis. So if you take a product which is 100% all natural concentrated celery, that muscle movement is recovering, and that not only the circadian diet, that the intestine muscle movement at the time recovers this circadian diet. Also, that's the first thing.
Okay.
Another thing, we told you important hormones. And first hormone I talked about is serotonin.
Yep.
And there are ways to increase the availability of serotonin. There are some pills, which is called SSRI, but they use it as an antidepressant. Because
SSLI.
SSRI.
SSRI.
Yeah. So they use it to boost the serotonin level. I strongly recommend against it. The reason
Why
is
is that?
It is not effective. Plus, it increases don't be surprised, suicidal tendency. Do you remember that some years ago, all this medical circle was in a shock by the discovery that antidepressant increases the suicide? Do you remember that? That is exactly because of this SSRI. So SSRI is not the right way of boosting serotonin. Boosting serotonin should be in the form of taking good quality natural vitamin D. We talked about natural vitamin D some time ago, right? So
Yes.
I refer the viewers to that video or the information in below how to get high quality all natural vitamin D.
Vitamin D.
Yeah. Also, high quality good natural vitamin B. And how to get good natural vitamin B, I will also provide information in below. And then listen carefully. In the morning, during the breakfast, eat some quite a good quantity of broccoli sprouts. Broccoli in the morning. Then the this circadian diet just goes back to normal. So in case it is difficult to get enough quantity of broccoli sprout, we have a product which is again the natural extract of this broccoli sprout. But you can do it yourself. But if it's too cumbersome, you can take our product. And at night, when the sun goes down, melatonin. So melatonin should be taken when the sun goes down. Okay? So when the sun goes down, you should take melatonin.
Yes.
Melatonin, I should warn you, there are so many different kinds of melatonin. So,
it's called melatonin because it mellows you out.
Yeah. It's like this. Again, the manufacturing process. In order to manufacture melatonin, at first you have to manufacture serotonin. Then from there you create melatonin. Okay?
So the melatonin is created from the serotonin.
Yeah. And then again, as I told you, at the last moment, you have to remove remaining serotonin completely. That's the melatonin you take. But the last stage of manufacturing to remove the remaining serotonin, that costs a lot. So people don't do that. So the melatonin you buy from ordinary marketplace, even though there are certain quantities of melatonin, there are still some remnants of serotonin there. So basically, while you are taking melatonin to boost your melatonin level and to diminish your serotonin, you are taking both together. Therefore, I used to take melatonin in the past, and then every time I take melatonin, I have nightmare. Now I understand why. Because I took the melatonin and I just
taking melatonin.
Yeah, by taking melatonin, my body goes down, but my mind, it becomes active. Of course, I have a nightmare.
That's what I was just thinking. It puts you to sleep, but it wires your mind out while you're sleeping, so you never get true REM.
Yeah, the most side effects of melatonin people are talking about are from this impurity issue of the melatonin, which comes from the negligence of removing completely the remnants of serotonin in the manufacturing process. And there are not many manufacturers who can safely, completely or reliably remove this serotonin at the last stage of the manufacture of melatonin, which is in Italy. And not in Italy, there are a couple of small family pharmaceutical company. Only they can do that. So we pay very, very high eye-watering price to them to get the reliable melatonin, which is quite expensive. So
Yeah, I remember you were sharing that you purchase a lot of your product from northern Italy.
yeah. So that's where we buy. So there's it's very old companies, but in northern Italy there are certain strange depths and advancement of some perfume industry, hundreds years old perfume industry, and hundreds years of tradition of high quality pharmaceutical products. So that's where we can find only manufacturing companies that handle this purifying melatonin, that point of manufacturing qualifications. So that's where we are buying a melatonin. And then neuroplasticity. So basically, I am recommending these 4 things: eat at the right time, boost serotonin naturally, and boost melatonin safely, and this small satisfaction. And then the insomnia issues are almost surely gone within this 1 week experiment. We can guarantee that. So if you do this, not only the sleeping disorder, so many addictions,
Yeah.
they get improved greatly using this neuroplasticity and then this 7-day challenge. So the many of the chemical addicts get help with this 7-day challenge. Depression almost gone. Almost in every cases without exception, depression's gone. So I strongly recommend this 4 pillars of 7-day challenges.
Well, I think everyone out there should take advantage of it. I know I'm going to get a shot. But without sleep, you've got nothing in life, Dr. Kim.
Yeah. Actually,
there is no life.
Yeah. So people think light of the importance of the sleep, which is very foolish.
So let's talk about your product. How does your product, obviously the ingredients list that you have, that you've put together, you've collected it from around the world.
Yeah.
Looking for the best ingredients that you possibly can that are all natural and food based.
Yeah.
How effective is your product from the results that you've been hearing from people out there? What kind of results have you been hearing? Man to man. We're not, we're just having a conversation here.
So far as I know, we never failed.
I guess that's why we're doing this.
Yeah. So far as I know, we never failed.
That's a very bold statement. You know that.
Yeah. So we have been recommend this thing in Asia to hundreds of people. We never failed. Yeah. And one thing I'd like to emphasize is what we say, all these recommendations for the 7-day period, 100% safe, absolutely no danger, no side effects. So you have nothing to lose. Just 7 days.
Nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Yeah, and then if you bring back this day clock to this in sync with your whole body, strangely, your monthly clock goes back to normal too. So many women with PMS or menopause issues, they got great help. We'll talk about a little bit more about that aspect in our next talk
So
when
it
you,
actually helps. It actually helps. So what you're saying is it actually helps the hormonal balance in
exactly.
a
So
woman.
yeah, yeah. So there are about 50 hormones in our body. If we fix the two important hormones to make it really healthy, all other hormones tend to go back to normalcy too.
Okay.
Yeah, because they are all connected.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like a pyramid.
Yeah, so it's like in a classroom there are 50 wild kids running around. You just make two important kids sit down, and then whole class goes down to quiet state.
Yes. Yes.
That's how it works.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So today, I'm afraid that I talked about many things, but don't try to memorize. We'll write down this thing in our information section down there.
The product, if people want to take a look at it and learn
Yeah.
a little
So
bit more
yeah,
about it, what's the name of the product?
yeah. So the all natural vitamin D is called Waikiki. Here's the product photo here. And then that all natural great vitamin B is called Super Brion, another product photo here. And then the broccoli sprout is called BSP, and our melatonin, that pure Italian high quality melatonin is called Hypno. Here's the product photo here. So
Beautiful.
these are safe. And then you just try this thing 1 week, and then you will feel new life.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, once again,
Okay,
Dr. Kim, thank you very much this
thank you.
afternoon here, and we will see you on another edition. You
Sure.
all have a great day.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Kim.